Okay, so I'm gonna do this a little different. I'm gonna talk, which I find very odd. And so, sorry you guys, I'm gonna act a little weird. I just tried, because everybody's on quarantine, so I figured my dream, odd one as it is, has always been, to have a homestead. Live off the land, make everything myself. Didn't really think that was possible, thought there was some stuff out of my reach, but I have, in the last few days, made pasta. I have dehydrated it. I have made flour tortillas. And so I'm going to try corn now. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but we're going to try it. I've had a friend who made them for me before. So this recipe is 2 cups of masa, 1.5 cups of hot water, and some salt. We found, because she was like, I've never heard of anyone adding salt. And so she made one with and made one without. And so what we're going to try is without. And I have definitely discovered working with a cast iron skillet makes these tortillas turn out much better. I make, and I'm probably going to butcher it, pupusas, and I've always made it on the flat top. Well, flat top doesn't get as hot as a cast iron, hold as much heat as a cast iron, you know, yada yada. Oops. And so that is something that I've always kind of kept in mind, that I don't necessarily have the equipment, but that doesn't seem to be the case right now. I have a cast iron that actually had rusted just slightly. I'm not the one that had been cleaning it. And so that, you know, when you don't have one person cleaning it, it tends to kind of screw things up. And so I've gotten it back from being rusted, because I had cleaned it, and I actually purposely had fried something in it and left that oil for just about a week, so it would seep way into this pan, because this pan isn't handed down from my family, so you know, have that good crust and and love on it. So it was bought from the store and used. I don't think this has enough water. And so it was just getting it to the point of being to that loved area. And so I have it to that because I left that oil in there for so long. And I now, after doing that, I wiped it clean. I know some people might think it's really weird, but I grew up in a family where, unless it was absolutely necessary, you didn't use soap and water on it. And so that's what I did. After having that grease in there, I turned it upside down on my trash can. Oh, there is enough water in here. And so I turned it upside down, let the grease drain out, and then I ran it through some really hot water and kind of washed it down, put it on the stove, heated it back up, and then I made sure the outside was coated with grease, and the inside and the handle, and I haven't had a bit of rust since. And I actually purposely didn't use it for just about a week, and still no problem. Okay, so it recommended using a wooden, I couldn't remember what it was called, spoon to stir it together. I did it until it started to come together, and then it said to knead it, trying to keep into a ball, and that, well, we know my shapes are not my thing. Or cutting. Okay, and so this has come together. It has a really nice texture. That is one thing that you have to keep in mind, that it is a feel. You'll know if it has too much flour or masa in this case, or too much water, but this actually came together really nicely. And so now you let it sit for an hour, and then I will bring you guys back when it's been an hour. Okay, so it has been an hour. Oh, it's firmed up quite a bit. That was really weird. I did not expect anything to really, like, for this to, you know, an hour. Yeah, that's not gonna do much. Okay, so I'm gonna do like I had done the flour ones. I got the pan already going. So it said golf ball size. That's the weirdest golf ball ever. Yeah. They're gonna be different sizes. It's me. And that one's just gonna be really tiny. We'll put that one and that one together. And then, yeah, I'm not sure why I did that one. Okay. So, I don't know if I need flour for this, but we'll try to roll it out without them. Okay, now I see why they say golf ball, because this puppy's going to be tiny. But yesterday I did really thin tortillas. Okay, so I'm going to roll these out slowly, wait for my pan to cook, and then I'm going to brown them off, and then I'll show you that here in a second. Okay, so I'm going to speed these up, but this one that I am making here is a flour one, and I will have to say I found the flour ones easier to work with. The corn, I might have not had enough water. I don't know. It was like the second time I've ever made them, and like I said, I've done them on a griddle, which is not a cast iron, and talk about night and day. They cook up so much better. Anyway, so the first ones that I bravely talked through were the corn ones. And so I just wanted to show you me cooking up the flour ones, and then after that I will switch over to the corn tortillas. I say they were okay to flip, but I just don't like the way that they came out. And with the flour ones, I ended up rolling them out pretty thin and they tasted really good. You could almost see the writing on the mat through them. And I definitely, when doing this, need a smaller rolling pin. So that might be something when we're out of quarantine kind of situation that I will kind of look for, because I don't have a smaller one. So I found that they tend to cook up beautifully where you've kind of pressed them down. I wanted to keep them moving so they didn't necessarily burn. As you can see, you can kind of see the smoke coming off of my pan, but they shrink up slightly. And once again, this shape is awful. So I am, like you have seen, rolling it by hand, and so they're not perfect, but they turned out well, so that's all that matters. I'm definitely not gonna be winning any beauty contest with these. So I also found moving these were much easier than the corn ones. The corn ones tended to want to break on me, but I'm pulling off a piece because Lex wanted to try it. And so I am more the one for flour. Anthony likes corn, and I don't think he tried one last night. I'll have to ask him if he liked mine. They definitely taste different than the ones you're gonna get in store, which I think is a good thing. So I'm going to finish cooking these up. These were just a trial run. They will still get eaten. I'm just really getting, I don't want to say claustrophobic, but stir crazy. And so I'm just trying to find things to do and things that, I kind of want to have a homestead. I have for a while, and all of this that's going on really makes me want to. But thank you for joining us and continuing with us in our journey. And we will see you guys tomorrow. Love you. Bye.